From the federal government on Tuesday came an advisory to Nigerians. If you are 55 years old and above, avoid churches and mosques. Those with health conditions such as diabetes, cancer, HIV, among others, are also enjoined to stay at home to worship, the government added. It's noted that the advice was necessary because places of worship have been recognized as a major avenue of potential spread of coronavirus. The government stated this through the Presidential Task Force (PTF) on COVID-19 control. It released the guidelines for states to follow in discussions with religious leaders before the reopening of churches and mosques for worshippers. The government said the protocols made available would be the baseline, which the states are not expected to go below, while firming up agreements with religious leaders. Nigerians have been pressuring the government to reopen worship centers in spite of the spike in COVID-19 positive cases, leading to easing of restrictions on religious centers. The, the PTF the PTF National Coordinator, Dr. Aliyu Sani, who announced the guidelines, said religious centers should keep a record of attendees. Dr. Sani said this will allow for contact tracing in the case of virus spread. He urged worshippers experiencing common symptoms of COVID-19 to stay away from churches and mosques. He said, "We are strongly advising vulnerable individuals such as those with underlying conditions like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, HIV, cancer, and those above the age of 55 years to please stay at home and consider remote participation of non-contact attendance." When we look at the death rate for persons who have died from COVID-19 in Nigeria, the case fatality rate, more than half of those that died were above the age of 50. Secondly, the case fatality rate if you are above the age of 50 is 17%. If you are above the age of 55, it is 18%. It is almost one in 5 chances of dying if catch COVID-19 and you fall within that group. Worshippers should be reminded not to attend in person if experiencing common symptoms of COVID-19, including fever, cough, and shortness of breath, or have had close contact with an infected person in the last 14 days. All worshippers noted to have temperature or are symptomatic should be turned back and not allowed admission. Places of worship should ideally keep up to date record of their staff, including contact details and, if possible, a record of attendees of church services, for instance, or even small mosque to enable contact tracing in the event that somebody comes up positive. Considering the dangers posed by the pandemic, we strongly recommend that religious visits to homes by religious clerics should be discouraged. The national coordinator said it is important to note that due to the nature of religious congregations, places of worship are particularly recognized to have a major potential for spreading COVID-19 infection among worshippers, and this has been clearly demonstrated in several outbreaks globally linked to religious gatherings. Places of worship that are unable to comply with these measures should not be allowed to operate by the state government. Churches are to open from 5 a.m. and close by 8 p.m. Each service should be for a maximum of 1 hour with an interval of 20 minutes in between services to allow time for disinfection. He said the task force will not hesitate to shut down religious centers if they fail to comply with the protocol developed for their reopening. These guidelines provide a baseline for the states so to them develop their own policies specific to their areas depending on the prevalence of COVID-19, depending on whether or not people are likely to follow and comply fully. But we will be reviewing these guidelines from time to time, and we will definitely review them if it looks like we are having issues with regards to relaxation, and I plead with the public to understand with us, but more importantly, continue to stay safe. It is better to stay at home and worship than to go into a place of worship, he emphasized. Sani reminded Nigerians of the dangers posed by the virus, noting that now is not the time to relax measures against the pandemic. Let me make some clarifications because I understand there has been a lot of concern nationwide about the opening of places of worship. There is no doubt that COVID-19 is still around. There is no doubt that it is still safer for you to stay at home. And there is also no doubt that it is safe for you to worship at home. The PTF is providing safety advisory or guidance in the event that you need to upgrade your spiritual needs and you cannot do it at home. But we are not making recommendations that people should go to places of worship. But if they choose to, we are providing advisory to enable them to do so safely. COVID-19 has not gone away. You only need to look at the numbers. We are in the exponential stage of the illness. We have moved as a country right up to the third position in Africa, and because of our population, we could also move to the second position or even the first. So now is the time to continue to take precautionary measures. Now it is not the time to relax. I hope I have made that clear. In view of the widespread community transmission of COVID-19, it is important that places of worship operate in a safe manner to ensure the protection of public health, avoid outbreaks, and safeguards the health of vulnerable members of the population. Wow. I know that some people will not even, they will just everything, they just want to like give it back to the government. Honestly, it's just an advisory. We all know what is obtainable in this country. The healthcare system, we all know what it is. Those who have money to spend, they know what they spend, how much money they spend when they want to go and get a treatment in the hospital. We all know how it's placed. So they are just advising, and they have already made that point. And I just hear a lot of people saying all manner of things. Oh, this and that. These guys are agents of darkness. I don't know why people don't even look at things holistically. Well, they've given an open check. It now depends on people to do whatever they want to do. Even the people who are always complaining about what of the marketplaces and all of that. For the fact that they open or they ease down the lockdown before now, it is a responsibility for everybody. Not because you will see some people inside buses, they will just jam packed, they will just chingum themselves as if there is no tomorrow. Of course, if anything happens, it is not the government. It is this government that does not even care about you, that want to not be running a skater for you. That's why everybody must take responsibility. You need to, even when you need to avoid a gathering, large gathering. Nobody needs to tell you. Nobody needs to tell anybody. Now they are pressurizing the government to open the church. Now they've opened it, and they are still advising if you are in this category, the best thing is to avoid it. Nobody's going to hold you. If you want to go, good and fine. If you don't want to go, good and fine. In my opinion, I will even expect people to even look for more other precautionary measures to even add to what we already know. That is to tell you that you are taking responsibility of yourself and of your life, because your life is more important. They can only advise, but they cannot force anybody to do what they don't want to do. And someone says, God will definitely expose you all soon because you think the religious gathering has never in a way be of help to you. Okay? Someone said the devil is at work, but God will be glorified. The church of God is marching on, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. People are not advised to stay at home from market, but church and mosque. God will prove himself strong and very soon. No wahala, everybody is entitled to his health. They just advise. They have no right to even force anybody. So they've just advised you take it or you leave it. That is it. Okay. Someone says here that 6 hours in the market does not spread anything, but 15 minutes in mosque could spread worse than expectation. And someone say the virus spreads faster in an enclosed places than open places. Markets are open places. What is said is for the good of the masses. Someone say, let me explain the rationale. The church and mosque are enclosed areas. Therefore, the possibility of getting infected is very high, even for 1 hour stay. The market is an open place where there is circulation of air. Does this explanation make any sense? it's not about the devil. Of course, some people are saying it is the devil, this and that. Of course, you can go and everybody is free to do whatever they want to do. One thing is to advise somebody, another thing is for you to take it. I think now they have opened the church, but I think Lagos is not even ready to do that, because the government has given them the the power to choose, or if they want to go about it, they should just check if their environment know what is going to be good for them, good and fine. But some people are saying, oh, the devil this, the devil that, oh, the agents of darkness. Everything must be put in proper balance. So guys, let's hear your opinion, leave your comments, and let's have your take.